Well, good morning, Group D. It is Tuesday, April the 14th, and I want to say thank you for yesterday. I know it was our first video live streaming classroom setting, so we have more planned out for you on Wednesday, and hopefully the modifications that I make on Wednesday will ease some of the issues that arose on Monday. But overall, it was very good to see everyone. It's been a long time that I haven't seen you or heard your voices, and I know you wanted to see your friends also, so you got a chance to do that. We'll spend more time talking about our virtual classroom on Wednesday when we meet again at 10:30. I do have some more activities planned for you so that we can maneuver through that site a little bit more efficiently and have a little more productivity out of everyone on that day. So be ready for that. Alright, so let's look at, we're going into a new section, 18.1, and we're looking at measure time intervals. So we're going to learn today how you can measure elapsed time in minutes. We're going to measure, and we're going to start slowly with this, and eventually it's going to increase on the difficulty levels. So for today, we're looking at elapsed time. So we have our question right here, and you can do this two ways. You can work this out on your own up until you get to the daily task assessment, start the video, and then check to see how you did. Or you can just follow along with me, whatever is easier for you. So we're going to look at question number 1, or it says unlock the problem. It says Ava and her family visited the Space Center Houston. They watched a movie that began at 4:10 p.m. and ended at 4:53 p.m. So now they want to know, how long did the movie last? So what time did the movie begin? 4:10. What time did the movie end? 4:53. We underlined the question. Okay, and to find elapsed time, find the amount of time that passes from the start. This is the start from an activity to the end of the activity. Okay, there's several ways to do it, some easy ways. We're going to start with the number line, then we're going to look at an analog clock, and then a subtraction equation. Okay, so let's look at the first model that they have for you. So we're looking at the number line, and here's the number line for you. Again, you can work this out on your own and then check to see how you did, and we're just going to do step by step. So it says first find the time on the number line that the movie began. The movie began at 4:10. So we're going to count on to the ending time, which is 4:53, which is over here, right? We're going to count by tens for each 10 minutes and count on by ones for each minute. Write the times below the number line. Okay, so we're going to write the times below the number line here, and then we're going to write down how many minutes passed. We're going to count by tens and ones. So let's go ahead and do that. So it started at 4:10. So our first jump is 4:20. Our next jump is what? 4:30. The next jump is what? 4:40. The next jump is what? 4:50. Okay. And then we go by ones. 4:51, 4:52, and 4:53. 4:52 and 4:53. Okay, this is the end, this is the start. We put the times here. So this jump on this from 4:10 to 4:20 was 10. This one was 10. From 4:30 to 4:40 is 10. From 4:40 to 4:50 is another 10. Okay, from 4:50 to 4:51, that's 1 minute. From 4:51 to 4:52, that's another minute. From 4:52 to 4:53, that's another minute. So now we add these. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 1, 2, 3. So the elapsed time from 4:10 p.m. to 4:53 p.m. is 43 minutes. And we use the number line. Okay? So the movie lasted 43 minutes. Very good. Let's go to your next questions. So another way is to use the analog clock. And if you don't know what an analog clock is, a clock that has the moving hand right here, as opposed to the digital clock that most people your age are more accustomed to. It's not very difficult to read. Then we're going to look at the subtraction. Okay, so it's very easy to start. So first you have to know where 4:10 is at. Here's the 10, right? 4:10, 4. This one always tells you the hour, and this one always tells you the minute. Small hand tells you the hour, big hand tells you the minute. So 4:10 to 4:53. So we have to go to 4:53, which is, this is 50, 1, 2, 3, okay? So we just count by fives. 5, 10, fill in the blanks here. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So again, 5. This should be 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 41, 42, and 43. Again, 43 minutes. That's using the analog clock, and we count by fives. Or we can use subtraction, and you always start with the ending number on top. Okay, so it was 4:53, and it started at 4:10. And notice we have our hours lined up, okay, and our minutes lined up. Because if you don't line them up properly, your equation is not going to be done correctly. End time, start time, and then you subtract. Okay, so 3, we can't take away 4. We take 10. Okay, so we are looking at 4:53. Oops, did I do that wrong? I'm sorry. Sorry. 4:53 and 4:10. Okay, I'm sorry. Again, I numbered them wrong. I put the 4 here. So again, 3 minus 0 is 3. 5 minus 1 is 4. Again, line them up. Okay, don't do what I did, because I added the 4 here right now. So that's a good way to making a quick mistake right there. But you always catch it at the end. So good. Okay, so we can use the analog clock, or we can subtract, or use the number line. So we're going to practice again using the number line here for 2, 1, 2, and 3. 3 is using the analog clock. So take a minute to work those out. Pause the video, work those out, and then come back and we'll check to see how you did. Welcome back. So let's see how we did. We're looking at questions 1, 2, and 3. And if you take a look right now, we did the analog clock here. We're looking at 1, 2, and 3. So we started with, use the number line to find the elapsed time from 1:15. So we start with 1:15, and we're going to end at 1:40. So in order for us to start, we have to start from 15, and we go to the closest 10. And that's 20. And that jump is 5 minutes. So then from 20, another 30, another 10 to 30, another 10 to get to 40. Then we count these: 10, 20, 25, and you should have 20, 30, 40 here. Start, ending. The key is to jump from the 15 to the 21st, and that's only a jump of 5. And then count by tens. 10, 15, 15, 20 by 5s, then 30, and then 40. Okay? So here we have another one. It starts at 11:35, so you start that one first here, and ends at 4:54. So you have, you're gonna have some ones in there. So 35, the nearest tens is 40. It's a jump of 5. Then you jump another 10 to 50, And then to get to 54, it's 4 more spaces. So again, then you add these two, 5 plus 10, 15 plus 4 equals 9. And you have 19 minutes total. Okay, the next one is using the analog clock. Start at 4:20, count by fives to get to 5 o'clock, which is right here. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And that's 40 right here. Okay, so this one we counted by fives. This one we use the number line. Very good. Next questions. We're looking at, now we're going to apply what you learned. You can use any one of the methods that you learned. You can use a number line, you can use an analog clock, or you can use a subtraction equation, whichever is easier for you. One thing that I have to point out before we start is this word right here. Let's look at this question right now. It says Connor started reading his book about outer space at 9:15. This word right here, and I'll refer to it back in a few minutes. 9:15 in the morning. He read until 9:45 in the morning. How long did Connor read his book? The key right here is learning what a quarter after and a quarter till. Okay, 9:15 and a quarter until 10. And if you look at your analog clock, I'm going to show you real quick. If you look at your analog clock, and just let's forget these hands right here, so that you'll know from now on. From here to the 3, that's a quarter after. This is a quarter after, right here, because your clock is divided into quarters. Okay, and this right here is a quarter before, starting here at the 9. So a quarter after is 15 minutes. A quarter after is 15 minutes. A quarter before is another 15 minutes. Okay? And you need to know that, because you'll see some people still use that. Oh, it was a quarter after 9, or it was a quarter until 10, and you have to know what they mean when they say quarter. Quarter after falls here. Quarter until falls here. So let's look at the question. Oops. So Connor started reading his book about outer space at 9:15 in the morning. So 9:15 would be 9:15. He read until 9:45. A quarter till 10 is 9:45. So how long did Connor read his book? So now we're going to use simple subtraction, and of course, the larger number goes on top, and then you subtract 0. 30 minutes. Took him 30 minutes. The key is this: knowing this is a quarter after, and knowing this is a quarter before. Or until, I'm sorry. A quarter until. Okay, workout 5 and 6. Now we'll come and check them, and I'll show you how we solve those problems. Oh, and you have 7 to do also. And it's an explanation. So work that one out. Go ahead and pause it, and then we'll come back right to it. Well, welcome back. Let's see how we did. So we already did question number 4. Now we're looking at question number 5. So it says Aiden arrived at the rocket display at 3:35 p.m. and left at 3:49 p.m. So that's Aiden. Okay. So we have to figure out how long it took. We have to figure out his elapsed time. So 3:49, and he started at 3:35. Subtract. That's 4. That's 1. That's 14 minutes. Ava Ava arrived at the rocket display at 3:30, and she left at 3:56. So 3:56. We have to find her elapsed time. 3:30. That's 6. 26. So it took Ava 26 minutes, and it took Aiden 14. So what's the question? Ava spent how many more minutes? So how do we figure that one out? Well, we subtract Ava's elapsed time minus Aiden's elapsed time, and that gives us 12 minutes. That's how we got the 12 minutes. So again, I used the subtraction equation. It's a lot easier for me. You could use the number line, you could use the analog clock. Again, it's what's easier for you. I like to use this one because it's a lot easier for me. The next one, the multi-step. Okay. So your answer is 57 minutes. And let's see how we figured that one out. At the Space Center, Hannah bought a model of a lunar rover. She started working on the model the next day at 11:13 a.m. She worked until leaving for lunch at 11:51 a.m. So she finished at what? 11:51, and she started at 11:13. Let's get that elapsed time first. Okay. So 11 minus 3 is 8. 4 minus 1 is 38. After lunch, she worked on the model again from 1:29 p.m. until 1:48 p.m. How long did Hannah work? So now we already have one. Now we have to figure out the other one, and then you just do 1:29. Okay. Subtract 9, 19. So we have the two numbers now. Now we got 17, and 3 plus 2 is 57. Okay. All we're doing is finding the elapsed time for each one, and it's multi-step, and then we have to know how long did Hannah work on the model. They could have also asked you how many more minutes did Ava work during this time than compared to this time, so you would subtract. So all of that is come to play, so long as you know how to figure out the elapsed time for each one, and then either add, subtract to get your final answer. Okay, the next one here, it said Aiden's family took the NASA tram ride or tour from 2:05 p.m. to 2:45 p.m. Explain how you know that the tour was more than 30 minutes. You can have several different explanations. This is one. Okay. But you know from 2:05 to 2:45 is more than 30 minutes. Okay. You know that. So any explanation that explains that, either you could figure out the elapsed time by subtracting 2:05 from 2:45 and getting your number, and it's going to be greater than the 30 minutes that the tram ride took. So that's all they're asking you. They want you to apply the knowledge on it. So figure out a way to figure out the elapsed time, and then compare it to the amount of time that the tram ride was going to take, 30 minutes, and ta-da, you got your answer there. Well, I think we covered all these questions. Now it's your turn. It's your daily task assessment and your test prep, your homework and practice. Once you do this one, we will check it on the next day. After you check your answers, you will have your daily quiz. Everything is running smoother with Think Central. Everyone's checking their work. Everyone is doing very well on the quizzes. Again, know that you do not have to send me copies of this like we did before. You don't have to upload them or anything on RenWeb. You don't have to do that anymore. It takes way too much time. I don't want to put any more burden on your parents or yourself. So as long as you do this, as we do the video chat sessions, I may ask some of you randomly, let me see how you did on this section 18.2, where we're going to discuss what we did that week. But I will know whether you did them or not when I compare your quiz scores. Okay, so if your quiz score is very low, and I don't get any feedback from you letting me know I did not understand this or can you explain this one, then I know that either you didn't do it or you didn't respond to or ask me any questions. So make sure you ask me any questions if you do happen to have them. Well, thank you again for your time, and I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday and Friday again. So have a pleasant morning, have a pleasant afternoon. Make sure you complete your assignments on RenWeb and focus on using your science journals to record any one of those questions that they ask you. So make sure you follow along, and we'll see you on Wednesday.